What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the next episode of Sports Talk with Hawk. It is a absolutely gorgeous Tuesday morning when this podcast is being recorded. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Monday night, we had our final episode of the training camp depth chart series with the NFC West. So that is done. And now we talk more football. Week number 2 of the preseason is in the books. Heading into week number 3, the cuts will be coming out slowly but surely. This is what makes football. This is where the anticipation starts to build. So, as I said, we're going to do a couple different things this week, and like I said in the last video, we are going to look at the odds. We're going to look at the odds. What if we wanted to make some money? What if we wanted to potentially retire? Yeah, I know. It's a pipe dream, but hey, we're not playing with anything right now, so why not? Let's dream big. So, here is what Vegas, the odds makers, here's what they're betting will happen. Okay? So, how we're going to do this is we're going to run through and we're going to go through, they got a lot of categories. All these odds are provided by FanDuel. That's the app that I have. I don't gamble. I got free money from them at one point, and that was it. It was for a, sign up and try us type thing. Haven't used it since. I don't gamble. But it is interesting to see which way the odds makers, guys that are very good with computers, very good with, all the codes, what they think's going to happen. Now, they do tend to love big brands. They do tend to uh, idolize stars. Okay. But outside of that, Vegas is normally pretty close. So, with that being said, with all the smart people and the computer help, this is where um, you can kind of look as a sports fan to see what the general consensus is on an NFL season. So we're going to look at the NFL section, and there is a ton of options. I mean, we're talking Super Bowl, different parlays. I mean, stacking bets, season leaders, season awards, passing, rushing, receiving, defense, the rookie of the years, the conferences, divisions, etc. There's everything on here. But tonight I figured let's go through, and we're going to go through a couple, and we're going to start with the Super Bowl. I know normally you culminate with the Super Bowl, but we're going to start with the Super Bowl. I'll give you the top, we're going to do the top 10 teams according to Vegas, the top 10 teams to make the Super Bowl starting at number 10. And number 10 slightly surprises me. Number 10, the New York Jets. Odds are at plus 1,800. So if the New York Jets win the Super Bowl, you can basically make $18 to $180 on $1, depending on how you play everything. Okay? Now, Number 9, and I apologize, hay fever spiked this weekend in Indiana badly. Saturday and Sunday, the farmers were out baling all the hay. Hay fever spiked badly. So I apologize for that if I sound a little bit different. Legitimately, allergies galore currently for everybody in the state of Indiana right now. But nonetheless, number 9, the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys are also plus 1,800. Number 8, the Buffalo Bills at 1,500. Number 7, the Cincinnati Bengals at 1,500. Number 6, the Houston Texans at 1,500. Number 5, so now we're in the top 5. These are the top 5 teams that Vegas believes will make the Super Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles at plus 1,300. Detroit Lions are at 4 at plus 1,200. Baltimore Ravens are 3rd at plus 1,000. The 49ers are at plus 600, and the Kansas City Chiefs are at plus 600. Now, not going to lie, my dark horse team isn't even on here. It's my dark horse team is, let's see, 11th, so that's 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. They are 14th. In fact, 13 and 14 are both going to be division winners, I believe. 13 is the Atlanta Falcons at plus 2,600. And right behind them is the Los Angeles Rams at plus 3,000. Now, I said normally they have bias. Normally they have bias towards big brand teams. I am shocked that a bet for the Rams, Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and a defense that in year number 1 made the playoffs and took the Detroit Lions to the brink. In year number 1, year number 2 after a beautiful draft. I love well-run organizations. Those are the ones you cannot count out. I believe the 49ers are a little bit older. I believe the 49ers have a lot more noise. I believe the 49ers have a little bit more turbulence to have to get through. My pick for the NFC West is the Rams. Their schedule lines up really nicely. We're going to do my official predictions next week. Their schedule lines up really nicely. Where they have the home away, when they have the home away, it all matters. The Rams at plus 3,000, buddy, I'm taking that bet. If I'm a betting man, that's where I'm going to put my money on. You don't make as much money up top. You don't make as much money on top. 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs are 1 and 2 at plus or at plus 600. You don't make a bunch of money up top. You make your money if you take a little bit of a risk. Now, who is the biggest odds? You may ask. You may wonder. I will give you the bottom 3 as they currently stand right now. Third worst, the Carolina Panthers at plus 25,000. Next is the Denver Broncos at plus 25,000. And then the New England Patriots are the worst odds at plus 30,000. So if you want to take a flyer on one of those teams making the Super Bowl, of those three, by the way, I would give the Broncos the best chance. Sean Payton, Bo Nix, a defense that's not that bad, weapons. Another team that I believe could be like the Packers of last year. Struggle till Thanksgiving, and then at Thanksgiving, turn the Jets on and take off. But nonetheless, so there's the Super Bowl odds, according to Vegas. Now, kind of gave you my idea. I'll give you my top 4 teams per conference. How about that? We'll just go per conference. So the NFC, I do. I love the Detroit Lions. Number 1 offensive line, really smart quarterback, dual running back attack by either back. Both backs can go for a 125 on a night, and none of us are shocked. A defensive line that is tough, a secondary that has been improved and got better at the end of last season. So the reality is, with the way it's all set up, the Lions to me have the number 1 odds in the NFC. Second is the Los Angeles Rams. I believe the youth, the energy that's there outdoes a lot of the aspects that scare people away from really believing that they can do something. So what if it's a second-year defense? I mean, if you're hinging all your hopes on a healthy 49ers team, that's worse odds than the Rams. The 49ers team is getting old. They're having trouble staying healthy. You know, each year Kittle gets hurt. Debo gets hurt. The defense, they no longer have Javon Kinlaw, Eric Armstead. I know, the Rams don't have Aaron Donald. Look at what they did in the draft. Look at what they did in the draft. They replaced him. Kobe Turner is going to be a fantastic defensive lineman. He's a great young guy. Jared Verse fits the Rams well. Braden Fisk fits the Rams. Their draft picks were excellent. I love the Rams. The third team, some are going to laugh, and I am fully prepared for it, but follow me on this. The Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons. I believe the Falcons will win the division and potentially be a 12-5 team because of the division. I'm sticking with what I said in my original schedule release. I'm going to stick with it. Atlanta wins both games against the Saints, both games against the Panthers, and splits the Bucks. There's 5 wins. They got to find 7 more to get to 12-5. And I think they will. I really think they will. I love how they're set up. I like how they're built. Yeah, they got a first-year coach. They shouldn't have been bad last year. The quarterback position, sorry, I need a drink. The quarterback position simply failed them on every level. That defense now has Matt Judon. There are still some free agents they can sign and bring in, which they may do. They signed Justin Simmons and now have Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons in the secondary. They may just have what it takes to be that sneaky team. You know, teams have done this before. They've got a good team together. We're missing a piece that kept hurting them the most. They fix that and then make a run and shock themselves in a sense. I like Atlanta's chances. They get a home game. I think the only team they truly struggle against at home is probably the Packers. But if they're 12-5, they're not going to play the Packers, I don't think. They may either be the Packers or the Niners. And the NFC's top 6 will be better than last year, or should be better than last year. Okay? You want to be third though. You want to be second or third. What if the Falcons get second and they play the 7th place team? That 7th place team is going to be, I mean, shoot, we can really just start throwing names out here. It could be Washington. It could be Tampa Bay. It could be Seattle. Potentially Arizona if they can get it together. 12-5. You know, the NFC West is still tough. I don't believe in the Eagles. My 4th team is not the Eagles. My 4th team is actually going to be the Green Bay Packers. The youth, Matt LaFleur. Now, I don't believe Jordan Love should have gotten paid what he did yet. You guys know that from the episode right after he got the contract. But the way that team played to finish the year, I like the Green Bay Packers. I don't know if they're set up to win necessarily in the winter. Now, I understand there's going to be Niner fans. You're like, come on, we've been there. We got there. We didn't lose a ton of stuff. We still got Shanahan. We still got McCaffrey. Still got Samuel. Listen, I get it. But you guys have had a really, really noisy offseason. This Ayuk stuff, I honestly believe, would be so much better if you just traded him, got it out of the way, got the trade, and were able to move on and focus. The longer this drags out, the worse and worse it gets. That's simple. It's that simple. So those are my NFC teams, top 4 NFC teams. My top 4 AFC teams. Number 1, I mean, you kind of have to until they're knocked off. You kind of have to until they, well, until something else happens. It's got to be the Chiefs, number 1. It's just got to be number 1. The Chiefs are going for back to back to back. And the reality is Andy Reid is one heck of a coach. one heck of a coach. In my opinion, the best coach of all time. Because he has adapted and he understands how to adapt. To me, that is priceless. Absolutely priceless. The other thing here is they do have a really good quarterback. I do not think he's the best in the league. They do have a really good quarterback who benefits from him. Very much benefits. Very, very much benefits. And that's, it's understandable. Second, I'm going to go Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens organization you can never count out. They do so many things well. I think the addition of Derrick Henry will help alleviate some of the pressure on Lamar Jackson. I believe their defense is ready to take a really good step. They did lose their defensive coordinator to the head coaching job in Seattle. They did lose a couple different assistants. The organization is built so well, they don't miss a beat with stuff like that. They understand it. They get it. It's really a badge of honor to constantly be picked for assistants, coordinators. It's kind of a telltale sign if you're a successful organization. So number 2 is the Baltimore Ravens. Number 3, hands down, is the Houston Texans. I love what they did. I am so happy the Colts got them in week 1 for the Colts' sake. Week 1, everybody's off. Week 1, everybody is kind of, still finding out what they can do. I don't want to play the Texans twice after week 10. After that defense gels and after the defense is ready to play. Opening a division game at home, week number 1, place is going to be packed, it's going to be loud, the energy is going to be there. Best chance for the Colts to win. Still don't think it's going to happen, but the best chance for the Colts to win. But the Texans, I believe, are the real deal, and you will not want to play a team that has a running game and a quarterback with those receivers late in the season. And when they're home, it's a dome. They're fast. Very fast. My 4th team in the AFC is going to be the Buffalo Bills. I know people are really dogging on how the Bills did the offseason and what they did. Listen, Von Miller's contract is the only thing stopping them from doing more. And cutting him doesn't help. So you might as well keep him on the roster and hope that in the playoffs, 3, 4, 5 times, when you need him to step up and be just a disruption, just the extra pressure, just the times 2, times 3 quickness, that he can do it. That's it. If they're in Houston on the road, Von Miller on turf, I'll take him against their right tackle. Not going to lie. Now, is he going to be Tunzel? No. But I'll take him against their right tackle. So, you can't dog them because, they're kind of paying for what a decision they made, and I get that. But they moved off of Diggs. They got Keon Coleman, which to me is a better receiver for Josh Allen. Curtis Samuel struggles with health, so that's one of my concerns when it comes to the receiver side. Curtis Samuel struggles to stay healthy. Khalil Shakir, though, should be a really great slot option. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, 2 tight ends. Allen will be fine. The Bills will be fine. The defense did get a little bit of a makeover. It's not great on the back end with who they lost. But once again, they didn't really have a choice. They either had dead cap or they got to play Von Miller. Look out, because this coming season, they will get to go aggressive in free agency. They will get to move. And that's not what you want for a team that can still win 10, 11 games. And they're going to get stronger next year. But they can win it this year. Make no mistake about that. They can. All right. Back to the odds. Rookies. Offensive Rookie of the Year odds. Now, this has changed, and it is still fluctuating because, as of today, Jayden Daniels is officially the starter for Washington. We kind of all knew that. That's no surprise. But Jayden Daniels is officially the starter for Washington. So the odds change because now there's no question mark about it. He's the starter. Bo Nix is really fluctuating until he's officially named the starter. So with that being said, we're going to go through the top 10 AP NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year odds, starting once again at number 10. So number 10 is Brock Bowers from the Las Vegas Raiders. This one is a little bit harder for me because I love Brock Bowers. Love Brock Bowers. I don't know if he can have a really effective campaign with either of the quarterbacks, Minshew or O'Connell. I believe this offense will look a lot more like the Indianapolis Colts offense of the 2000s. Brock Bowers will play the slot like Dallas Clark did. Michael Mayer will play the main blocking tight end position. And you'll have Jacoby Myers and Devontae Adams as your 2 receivers. That's a good, any quarterback would love those options. Big, tall, physical. That's a very good skill position setup. Your running backs are power backs. Zamir White, Alexander Madison, power backs. I think it's going to look a lot like that Colts offense did, except it's going to be a run-focused play action into pass a little bit more. They're going to want the run to set up the pass, not the pass to set up the run. Which works. Make no mistake about it. That works. But Brock Bowers is number 10. Number 9, Keon Coleman. I think this is low. I really think this is low. It's plus 3,700 for Keon Coleman to be the Rookie of the Year. I think that's low, and here's why. He's got Josh Allen. As far as guaranteed quarterbacks go, he's got Josh Allen. He is wide receiver 1 on the depth chart already. He's going to be the guy. He will be the guy that Josh Allen looks to on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 12, 2nd and 20. It's Coleman. Now, the guy right above him at 8, Ladd McConkey from the Chargers, has Justin Herbert. But we don't know what that offense is going to look like. That offense is a complete rebuild. Running backs, receivers. The line is good. But all the skill positions, it's a complete rebuild. So we don't know what that offense is really going to look like. Now, I keep saying it. Herbert has to throw to somebody. I play fantasy football. The Chargers receivers are all available, all 6 of them. Because last year they did nothing. All 6 of them are available in most leagues because they did jack squat. But he's got to throw to somebody. Somebody will have to catch the ball. So I understand McConkey being relatively high, but I think Coleman's definitely got better odds than he does. Drake May is sitting at 7. Not a chance. I'm sorry, not a chance. I think this is way too high for Drake May for Rookie of the Year. I believe he's going to struggle more because of playing the Bills twice, playing the Jets twice. I think he has the way he comes into a completely rebuilding program. Nobody's excited about going to New England. I am excited about what they're doing, though. I like what Jerod Mayo's doing. I respect it. He's trying to change the focus, change the opinion of the New England Patriots. So I respect it, support it. Number 6, to me, this guy could easily be number 1 quickly. Xavier Worthy. Listen, he's got Patrick Mahomes. And secondly, Hollywood Brown is already injured. Rashee Rice, we don't know what's going to happen legally. We know the NFL loves to wait for the legal side to be done before they do anything with the game. Very rarely do they jump the gun. The reality is, if he is convicted of hit and run, anything with bodily injury, he's going to be suspended for a minimum of 4, probably 6. Rashee Rice's legal stuff is not going away, and you don't know when it's going to pop up. Hollywood Brown has struggled with injuries. He's already struggling with injuries again. So honestly, Xavier Worthy to me could become wide receiver 1. The guy's fast. I know Mahomes is going to love to be able to throw it up in the air. It's how it works. So Xavier Worthy is sitting there at 6th best odds at plus 1,900. Number 5 is Malik Neighbors. Way too high. I love Neighbors. Way too high. They probably believe he's the only option in New York, which is pretty close to being accurate. But I think it's way too high. He's going to struggle. Daniel Jones' first preseason game. Oh, my gosh. Oh. For anybody who watched that over the weekend, I give you credit because I couldn't. Oh, my gosh, that was bad. If Daboll gets fired, I said this, and I've said it, and I'll say it, and keep saying it. If Daboll gets fired, he'll get rehired immediately. Arizona would love to have Daboll with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. And now Trey Benson, the rookie back. They'd love to have an offensive genius mind that can work with quarterbacks. He got Daniel Jones to the playoffs. Daniel Jones won a playoff game. Let's just be real here. Daboll is one heck of a coach, but there is a certain level of this where Daniel Jones's confidence has been tanked by his own organization, his own play. Smart guy. Smart guy, but it's been tanked by everybody else. Now, number 4 currently is Bo Nix. Bo Nix is plus 1,300. I like Bo Nix for the option. I like Bo Nix as a top 5. Keon Coleman would be in my top 5. Xavier Worthy would be my top 5. Bo Nix would be my top 5. With Sean Payton and the way the offense is going to be set up, Bo Nix could have one heck of a year. Really could. So I like Bo Nix at 4. At 3, Marvin Harrison at plus 650. Because he's got Kyler Murray, I could believe it. Okay? Kyler Murray gives me the ability to believe that works at number 3. I just don't know if the Cardinals are going to be good enough to get Harrison open. If he's triple covered, I love him. But if he's triple covered, it's not going to do anything. He doesn't have that option. But he's 3rd. 2nd is now Jayden Daniels. After getting the starting job, it has adjusted, and Jayden Daniels is now 2nd, plus 600 behind number 1, Caleb Williams at plus 120, meaning he's the favorite, and they're not going to give you any money if you bet Caleb Williams and he wins it. Makes sense. They got to protect themselves somehow. So that's the Rookie of the Year odds. The Rookie of the Year odds. Always interesting to see what Las Vegas does. It kind of gives you a glimpse of what truly is believable, what they believe is going to happen, how they believe it's going to happen, and the way they believe it's going to happen. I mean, that's just what it is. It's the reality. So it is what it is, and it's how it works. Well, that is going to be all for me, guys. That is going to be all for me. Another episode in the books. And here we go. We are getting closer and closer to the NFL season. I love it. Love seeing what the teams start switching around and changing. I do love it when we start getting the all the new official depth charts, all the new announcements of their rookie quarterbacks getting the positions, rookie receivers getting the positions, etc. Always fantastic. And I love when we start getting to speculate as the nostalgia of the opening of the season comes in. Thank you guys so much for listening. Absolutely fun hanging out with you guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, ring that notification bell. That way you get notified anytime I go live. Appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday night. I'll see you on Friday when we dive into, what are we going to do Friday? I don't know. We'll figure it out on Friday. I got a couple different things I want to do as we head into next week when we get into my official predictions for the year. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. For Sports Talk with Hawk, I'm Hawk, and I'm out.